Hi guys, today I am doing a highly requested freshman advice video for high school students. I just finished my freshman year and yeah, so I think that I'm pretty good at explaining what you guys have to be ready for high school, because I know going from middle school to high school is a huge step in your life, pretty much your life. And I'm filming over here because I don't know, the lighting is weird, and sorry if it goes like in and out and like weird, I don't know. So I'm filming in a corner, so. So I kind of come up with things in my mind about what I wanted to say, so this video might be all over the place, but yeah. So if you're just an 8th grader and you just got graduated from middle school, since it is still June, and if you still haven't graduated yet and you're going to graduate middle school, here's some advice, tips for you from middle school to high school. I know some freshmen are still in middle school, because there's a lot of schools in my district that are middle schools that have 7th, 8th, and 9th, and my middle school was the only one that had 7th and 8th. So even if you're just going from a freshman into a sophomore and going to high school, you know, it's a big transition. So no matter what age or what grade your high school begins in, it's still a huge step. So one of the first things is I want to talk about is supplies, because I know for middle school you usually went out and like buy supplies before like school started. I suggest not really doing that, and if you are going to do, make sure you just get pencils, pens, and just a notebook, because you don't know what teachers are going to want. Because I know a lot of my teachers like said, oh, I need this, I need this, I need this, and I was like, I told my mom, like, aren't I going to need like some new supplies and stuff? She's like, no, just wait till your school begins and I'll take you as soon as you get your school supply list. Because usually teachers give you a syllabus, and on the syllabus it says what you need for that class. So some teachers might want a 2-inch binder or just red pens for that class, or crayons or something. Don't go crazy with the school supplies, because like you honestly don't need. All you need on your first day is pretty much a backpack, pencil, pen, and a notebook just to write down stuff, so you never know. And maybe a folder. A folder can always help, but you don't even need that stuff. Like a folder you should have in your house, like just laying around. So after you have like all your supplies and stuff, like you should be fine. Don't go crazy supplies. And another thing that you want to be prepared for high school is, if you have never been in your high school before, or if you're new to your high school. I was technically pretty much new to my high school. Like I didn't really know too many people, since I did come into my middle school in the end of the school year last year. I came in May, like right when the school was ending, and it was kind of like, okay, I'm kind of still new to the high school, I barely know anyone, like, so going into the high school and exploring it kind of made me more comfortable about what the high school is like, so I knew where I was going. And also, if you do sports, see if your school offers sports during the summer. Like I know volleyball is usually in the summer sport for at least my school. Like season training, like basketball. Do some camps, like some sport camps, so you know people, because you do want to go into high school knowing people. Like if you don't, you're kind of like nervous and anxious. If you just know some people, be like, oh hey, like remember me from camp or whatever, like, oh, you want to sit together at lunch, like, you know. So you're not so anxious, because if you're so anxious, it's really stressful, like super stressful. And I did cheer during the summer, so I did know a couple girls from going from middle school to high school, because I did cheer with them and I hung out with them all summer long, like 3 days a week. And so I had a lot of people I knew, so I was like, oh, you're in my class, you're in my class, you're in my class, okay, like, you know, kind of talk. And if you don't have sports to offer, or you're not kind of a sporty person, like volunteers, carnivals, anything like around your area to meet people is always great. But if you're more of a quiet person, I understand. Like, just if you could just explore the school, you will get a lot more comfortable. And as soon as you go to your registration or whatever, you will get your schedule. And so when you go around the school, you're kind of like, with so many people around, I'm kind of more of a claustrophobic person myself, and seeing all these people around me kind of gets me like, oh my god, this is real, like this is real. So that kind of made me nervous at my registration and orientation or whatever, by seeing all these people. But me and my friend, after we got our schedules, we kind of walked around the school and felt like, okay, this class here, so this class here. Because you don't want to go to your first day not knowing where you're going, because I noticed that's how bigger kids know who you are if you're walking around with a map in one hand and a schedule around. And if you don't do that, no one's gonna really say, oh, freshman, fresh meat, like push you. No, that doesn't help happen. If you're wondering about bullying, that doesn't happen unless you make yourself clearly, hey, I'm a freshman, I'm a big kid, I'm going to be tough. Like, no. No one cares what grade you are in, honestly. It's more about, like, just be yourself. Like, don't think you're big dog. Don't think you're big dog at all. Like, you know, I don't know. If you're always worried about, like, older kids saying stuff to you, you're gonna get yourself more anxious and more scared if you're gonna think about it. Don't think about it. Like, you're gonna want to be friends with some of the upperclassmen. You want to have friends here and there. Like, it's not gonna hurt you to have friends here or there. So, making friends with the older kids is not really hard at all. Oh, I keep looking around when I'm talking. I'm sorry. That's really bad. But don't be scared. Like, don't be, like, intimidated. And if you do get lost, don't be afraid to ask someone. I'm sure there's, like, little people, like, I know on our first day, I think there was, like, people in orange shirts, so if you got lost, you could help them. And I'm sure upperclassmen's gonna be okay with helping you, like, get to class. Like, say, oh, what's room 206 again? And they'll be like, okay, down the forum, or down this hallway, or, you know, like, they'll be helpful. Not all of them are gonna be like, it's like, I'll help you, you know, but some of them are gonna be like, I have classes to go to too. Like, don't bother them all the time. But some of them are really nice. Like, honestly, upperclassmen are not that scary. And another thing is, when you go to freshman year, it's a lot more exciting because you actually get to go to homecoming and have, like, friends and, like, little parties and stuff like that. Like, you have a lot more options to do in clubs and sports. Like, there's some language clubs. Like, I'm in the Spanish club at my school because I take Spanish, and Spanish is so easy. But, like, there's clubs, there's a bunch of little programs at your high school that you didn't get to do in middle school, which is amazing. And yeah, so honestly, high school is not that big of a deal. Obviously, it's big of a deal, but it's not, like, personality-wise. Don't be scared and anxious, because if you're scared and anxious, those nerves are seriously gonna build up, and then it's gonna, like one day it just be like, oh my god, and you're just gonna, like, bawl or something like that. But just be comfortable, breathe. Don't be scared. But another thing is, you really want to, I don't know how to stress this, make sure you keep your grades up, study, really study. My biggest mistake wasn't study, and I don't know how I'm gonna get my GPA up, because I thought, you know, doing a homework assignment here or there was okay, but it honestly screwed my GPA over. So make sure you take exams seriously, tests seriously, because tests really made my GPA go down. But this semester, like past semester, it bumped my grade up, like my GPA a point up. It was at 2.3, and it went to a 2.4, so it was a lot easier. Like, it was a little bit, but I wanted to get into any good college, you're gonna have to have, like, at least a 3.0, and that means I'm gonna have to get straight A's one year. But just, if you're already a good student, don't stress about the homework or anything. Honestly, I think you had less homework in middle school. I had more homework in middle school than I did high school. I don't know if that's just me thinking about it, but I honestly didn't have too much homework in high school. Like, I did have projects and stuff, but they weren't too big. I am a teenager, so I did forget about having a homework assignment here or there, but it wasn't like it was huge or anything. I know some people are like, oh my god, high school has so much homework. But if you just pace your time out wisely and don't procrastinate, do not procrastinate, do not. You will be fine, honestly. You won't have to worry about all that jazz and stuff like that. But yeah, so just think about the fun things you have to do in high school. Don't stress over the little things about making friends, joining clubs, schoolwork, and stuff like that. Think about the fun stuff. Like, when you first come to school, your homecoming's coming up. Either in, like, September, like ours was like a week after school started, but a lot of them are usually sometimes in October, late September. Just think about what's coming. Like, homecoming is so much fun. And if you think homecoming's stupid, never been to homecoming, you know? Like, and school dances are lame. Homecoming was the best time of my life. Even though I didn't do too much stuff there, like, it was just kind of boring for most people. But you know what? You get to be with your classmates and the upperclassmen and just have a good time. It's one time you can actually have a good time at school, you know? So, that's some freshman advice tips. I hope this helped you guys somewhat. If you want my freshman story, because I kind of did give you some of my freshman story. If you want my whole freshman story, make sure you leave a comment down below. And if you want some more back to school videos, leave them always down below. Stop recording, I don't know where I was, but make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and Twitter at CJWalker735. I make sure I will spam you, and if you tweet me or post a picture with the hashtag CJWalker735, I will make sure to follow you and spam you with likes and comments and stuff like that. And yeah, so I also leave tips on videos that I am filming at the time and stuff like that. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure you subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.